Now let us start on with the history chapter. And as you know that we were doing the last chapter and the name of the chapter was the Gupta Empire. So under this lesson we take on the next topic, and the next topic is what? Trade. Okay, so let us see during the Gupta period, the inland trade, it was also very developed. I mean to say, it also flourished, as well as the foreign trade that also flourished in the Gupta period. It means that they were very efficient in the inland as well as the foreign trade. Now, children, trade, it was mainly carried by land as well as the water ways. Okay. Now let us see which were the important trade centers. They were Ujjain, Patliputra, Banaras, which is now known as Varanasi, Mathura, Tamralipti. These were the famous trade centers. Apart from this, let us see which were the other foreign countries with which the Indians they used to trade during the Gupta period. The foreign nations were Africa, Arabia, and East Indies. Okay, the business links or the trade with all these countries they also increased during the Gupta period. Other than this, the people during this period they also had the trade relations with Rome, Burma, Java, and Cambodia. One of the most important port was Tamlok. Okay. Then, apart from this, the people during this period they were having prosperous trade relations with many other parts of the world also. Now let us see which were the items of export. They were spices, precious stones, silk, sandalwood, indigo, and herbs. Okay, and the important imports they were silk, ivory, and horses. Now we move on to the next topic, and that is religion. Now, children, we move on to the next topic, and that is religion. The Gupta rulers, they were Vaishnavas. Okay, but in spite of being Vaishnavas also, they used to be tolerant towards the other religion. Okay, during this period, Brahmanism, it had come to the forefront. It means it was the most important religion. Now let us see who were the two gods who were very important, and they were Vishnu and Shiva. Like in this period, the rulers they also perform Ashwamedha. Okay, Ashwamedha Yajna, or it is also known as horse sacrifice. It was an activity which was done by the rulers in the ancient period to prove their sovereignty. Okay, so Hinduism it became very powerful, and it was the most powerful religion during the Gupta period. The Gupta rulers they also patronized this religion and gave donations for the building of various temples. This was the period when Buddhism it was not patronized by the Gupta rulers. Although this Buddhism it was the second most important religion. Okay. Now children, we move on to the next topic, and next is art and architecture. This was the period when the art and the architecture it also reached great heights. It means it was highly developed. Okay, this was the period when many temples they were built. Some of the famous temples of the Gupta period, they are the temples at Diogad, Sanchi, and Bhitar Gaon. Okay, now children, this was the period when the temples they were constructed in a very simple way, which had only one room in which the idols of the gods they were kept. This part where the idols of the gods they were kept, it was known as Garbha Griha. Okay, now this was the temples they were built with the help of the bricks and stone. Now, children, the idol worship, it became very, very common from the Gupta period in Hinduism. Now, other than this, in the art and architecture, the 29 cave temples, which are at Ajanta near Aurangabad in Maharashtra and Bagh in Madhya Pradesh, it was also built during the Gupta period. Now we move on to the next page. The walls of these caves, they were also covered with paintings which were known as murals. Murals, they are also known as frescoes. Now, children, what is the meaning of fresco? It is a painting made on a wall while still the plaster of the wall is wet. Okay, so it is known as frescoes. Now, let us see what are the things which were shown in the painting. In the paintings, they used to show the life of Mahatma Buddha, and other than this, they also used to show the ordinary scenes of day-to-day life. Okay, this was the period when many Buddhist monasteries they were also built. Now, which were the two main centers of art? During this period, the two main centers of art they were Mathura and Sarnath. A number of images or statues of Buddha, Vishnu and Shiva, it has been discovered in these two places at Mathura and Sarnath. Okay, among this, the image or the statue of seated Buddha in a yogic pose is one of the most important periods is one of the most important masterpieces or statues of this period. Other than this, we are also having one more statue, and that is the statue of standing Buddha at Mathura. This painting is also very famous and it is also very, very impressive. During the Gupta period, two schools of art they developed. One was the Mathura school of art and the other was the Gandhara school of art.